Another week. I was meant to start it actually recording for doing it for the kids podcast with Frankie, but she's not feeling well. So instead I'm cracking on editing the Homo Sapiens podcast that I do every week. And then also another client podcast for a digital agency. Frankie is still not well today. That means that we're going to bin off the Doing It for the Kids podcast this week because we have to either record it Monday or Tuesday in order to get it out Thursday, which frees up a hell of a lot of my time. So I will crack on with the Being Freelance podcast instead. So that was good. Just as I was about to have my lunch, an animation came through that we've been working on. So now, once I've finished editing the Being Freelance podcast, I'm going to go in and add the music track to that video and get that off to the client. And I remembered to bring my own lunch today. That's the one thing about like being based permanently in the co-work space / office is that it's all too easy just to not bother. You can end up easily spending like £5, maybe even £10 a day on lunch. And that really adds up, doesn't it? So, make your own follows, make your own. Welcome to another one. Being Freelance. A copywriter, Anna Rogan. Woke up to snow. No way was I doing a workout in that. But I ended up working last night in order to edit a podcast because it goes out on a Thursday. So normally I would edit it on a Wednesday. But today I have plans. So much fun yesterday, still kind of like grinning inside and out. Back to reality today though, not just because of the weather, but hang on, let me upload that. Back to work as well. I've been mixing out a client video this morning. Then I'm going to finish off the web page for the next episode of the Being Freelance podcast because I'm way ahead of time with that. Next week in the Being Freelance community, I'm going to be doing a new live show called the Freelance Disco. Basically, I'm going to have a guest on and I'm going to ask them about their freelance story mixed in with the soundtrack to their freelance life. Not done it before, might not work, but it might. The first person to fill in the form was Sophie Cross, who is the editor of Freelance magazine and a freelancer herself. And so right now I'm just going through her choices, which are awesome, and then finding the tracks on YouTube, because what we're going to do is play the songs which she's picked. And I'm hoping I can do this live show from Ecamm. So on here will be me and Sophie. And then all I have to do is load up some scenes with the songs. And then when I press this button, it will go to her second song. Yes, it's working. I'm leaving even earlier than normal today because our daughter is taking part in a school music concert. I don't want to miss that. But just before I leave, I've been hired via people per hour to do a voiceover, which hardly ever happens. When I first went freelance, I got loads of work doing voiceovers on people per hour. I even used to pay to like advertise, basically have my service featured. And then as I got more and more reviews, it just got organically featured. And so it still shows up, even though I don't use the platform anymore. And I haven't turned it off because frankly, doing voiceovers is not the most taxing thing in my day. So yes, now I've got to go and record a phone messaging system for a removals company. The glamour. You know, when I mentioned that I don't often do the school run anymore, funnily enough though, it does still seem to happen when it's raining or snowing. I don't understand how that works. At 9:15 I am doing co-working in the Being Freelance community. It's really good. If you've not done virtual co-working before, I recommend it, especially in the community, because obviously we're a regular bunch of faces turning up each week. Turn the heater on. So you get to know people, but also it keeps you productive because we work in like Pomodoro sessions, you know, like 25 minutes chat, 25 minutes chat. So yeah, I think people find it productive. I really need to go and hang this up. Bear with me. So co-mentoring with Frankie, now we're having lunch, and while I was having my lunch, the job I did yesterday for people per hour, or via people per hour, remember that? They've already paid. You know, this is the good thing. If you have enough of those kind of gigs via those sort of sites, it can actually be a nice little top up of your income. It's a weekend of chores, both in the house, out of the house, and in my inbox. I mean, I'm never great with my inbox, but 2023 is not a vintage year to be proud of. I had nearly 600 emails by the end of Friday, one of which, though, was a client who I'd done the video for saying they loved it, no changes from the first version, so that was good. But yeah, far too many emails. And the trouble is, it becomes really overwhelming, and the only way to carry on existing and doing your business is to almost ignore it until you've left a bit of chunk of time to tame it. So yeah, that's what I've done this weekend in between everything else, writing down in my planner anything that I need to action, putting into folders stuff which, who knows, one day I might come back to. I know it's possible, of course, to have an assistant who checks on emails, but it wouldn't help because ultimately I would be the bottleneck of it all. If you want to do the fun stuff in your life and work, you've got to make time for all the not so pleasant stuff that comes with it. Oh, look at that, it's one of those end screens. What are you going to do? You're going to hit the little circle thing with my face in it. That'll help you subscribe. You're going to then turn on notifications by clicking the bell. You're going to watch another video that I think you might like, or you're going to go and listen to the podcast. Go on, beingfreelance.com. What are you going to do? Do love an end screen.